Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second annual Global Goddess Fest, a week-long virtual festival to inspire, activate, and connect female leaders, entrepreneurs, and creatives worldwide. And today we are taking it all the way down to Peru with these two beautiful women. So we have Natalie Small, who is on the right side, the blonder blonde. Yeah, and then we have Daniela, or Yaya, Yaya as all of her friends call her. So they are tuning in from Peru today, and we're so thankful to have them on board, sharing what they're passionate about. And so let me just give you a brief introduction of these two beautiful ladies as we dive in. So Natalie is a licensed marriage and family therapist and also the founder of Groundswell Community Project. And so I met Natalie while she was creating this beautiful retreat with some other amazing women in San Diego, and they invited me to come in and do a sound healing during the women's retreat. And immediately as I stepped into this space, I saw the intention that they put into the retreat, and it was just absolutely beautiful, down to, the food and the setting of a sacred space and the women that they attracted. It was just an amazing retreat. So I'm super excited to connect deeper with Natalie and bring her into this community. And then she then was, as we were talking about what this would look like, she was like, I want to bring in my friend Yaya. I think she'd be a great addition into this community and into the guests that we have on the Global Goddess Fest. So Natalie, she's combined her passions and her profession to create this epic foundation. So her passion, she's a surfer chick. I mean, yeah, like the ultimate surfer babe, and like outdoor adventure girl, everything in water. And then combined it with her profession of licensed family and marriage therapy with a background in trauma healing using the arts. And so Groundswell Community is now this beautiful project, a nonprofit that heals, empowers, and unites in recovery from addiction, abuse, trauma, and mental illness through surf therapy and ocean conservation. Like, so awesome. So awesome. And Natalie, I'll swing it over to you to introduce your beautiful friend Yaya.
Yeah. So Yaya and I met, was it 3 years ago, in Cuba. So Yaya's from Cuba, and she's actually on her first solo trip right now in Peru, which is really exciting. And so she's here right now to surf and to work with some of the girls that we work with in Peru as well through Groundswell. And yeah, I'll let you tell a little bit about yourself. Entonces, ¿cuándo empezaste surfing y qué se imita con surfing ahora?
Comencé a surfear hace 14 años atrás.
She started surfing 14 years ago.
Cuando comencé a aprender, todo fue muy difícil.
When she was learning, it was really difficult.
En Cuba, la cultura del sur es muy pobre, es muy escasa.
In Cuba, the surf culture is very poor. There's not a lot of opportunity things.
No existen tiendas ni fábricas que construyan o vendan cualquier tipo de material que tenga que ver con el surf.
There's nowhere, you can't just go somewhere and buy a surfboard or buy your wetsuit. You have to be creative with how you get the things that you need in order to surf.
Entonces, para cuando comencé a aprender, lo hice a través de unos amigos que me llevaron un día a la playa, y cuando salieron del agua les comenté que quería hacer eso.
When her first day learning how to surf, she went with a friend of hers, and
cuando salieron del agua les dije quiero hacer eso, y ellos me dijeron que yo era mujer y que iba a hacer eso un poco algo difícil.
He just told her to like hop in and do it, and she was the only woman that surfs in Cuba.
Porque el surf era un deporte muy duro, peligroso, y había que tener mucha, preparación, fuerza y ganas de hacerlo.
Yeah, because surfing in Cuba is very dangerous, and so it's not seen as a place for a woman, but Yaya is a very strong woman, and so she paddles out.
Entonces, nada. Y yo dije que yo reunía todas esas condiciones y que yo quería hacerlo, y lo iba a hacer.
And so she sees the conditions and knows that she can do it.
Entonces, no tenía tabla, y para entrar al agua, aprender a surfear, tenía que esperar a que mis amigos se aburrieran todo el día de hacerlo para entonces que me prestaran la tabla.
She didn't have a board, so she would always just borrow boards from her friends, and waited to be able to have her own board.
Cuando me prestaban la tabla, entraba sola al agua y no tenía apoyo de los otros chicos que estaban dentro para enseñarme cómo rectificarme, hacer las cosas bien, que no hiciera las cosas mal. Y tampoco tenía el apoyo de ellos porque había un poco de machismo, y si yo me metía con ellos a coger olas allí, le podía robar las olas. A veces, por no saber hacer el pato, soltaba mi tabla y le podía dar en la cabeza con las quillas.
She's saying that when she did finally get a board and she would be paddling out, nobody would help her or give her points of like, this is what you should do, or this is what you shouldn't do. There's a lot of machismo in the water. And so she just really had to kind of like do it because she wanted to do it and figure it out on her own. And it's not easy. If you've ever tried surfing, it's not easy.
Así comenzó todo. Y hoy lo que sé es surf, lo he aprendido mirando videos, películas, mirando a otros sentada en la orilla de la playa, mirando cómo hacen las técnicas. También he aprendido por otras ayudas, como es la de Natalie y otras chicas que han ido a surfear a Cuba. Y bueno, nada, que le agradezco a todos ellos, a los que de verdad creyeron en mí y que sabían que yo podía llegar a hacerlo.
So she learned basically from watching videos and then from other like tourists that were coming in, like myself and other women that would teach little things along the way. But she just always told herself that I believe in myself and I am capable and I belong.
Es un poquito mi historia.
Sí, un poquito. ¿Y qué hiciste ahora para el surfing y tu profesión y tu pasión?
Trabajo en el Acuario Nacional de Cuba.
She works in the aquarium.
Como entrenadora de delfines y lobos marinos.
She trains the dolphins and the sea lions.
Pero junto con este trabajo también llevo el trabajo con los niños.
But her real passion for work is to work with the children.
Trabajo con niños discapacitados, niños que presentan síndrome de Down, autismo, parálisis cerebral, sordoceguera.
She works mainly, or she really enjoys working with children that have Down syndrome, autism, different disabilities.
Básicamente con ellos lo que hago es terapias asistidas con animales, en este caso con delfines y lobos marinos.
And so she brings the children into the aquarium and lets them swim and interact with the dolphins and the sea lions.
Y a veces cuando los animales no están en condiciones de trabajar en este tipo de actividades con los niños, busco una variante y es hacer aguaterapia.
And so sometimes when the animals aren't in a condition to be able to work with the children, she'll get them in the water just to do like water therapy, surf therapy.
Yeah.
Entonces, so we connected like 3 years ago, and I'm a marriage and family therapist that does surf therapy for trauma recovery. And then Yaya is doing basically almost the same thing, but in the aquarium, introducing children to the ocean and to the animals of the ocean and being able to see firsthand how that affects their bodies and their way of interacting with each other and themselves. And so it was really exciting for me to be like, oh my gosh, there's another woman that's doing almost the same thing and getting to support each other and help each other in that. It's just really exciting. And we were in like completely different parts of the world and have no way of really contacting. And to see how the ocean has drawn both of our hearts into that space it's powerful.
Entonces, trato de, quiero seguir ayudando a esos niños y se me ha ocurrido crear un programa de surf terapéutico en Cuba Y acá Natalie es una de mis inspiraciones en querer hacerlo. Y quiero llevar a los niños al mar para que tengan estos mismos sentimientos, puedan disfrutar de los sentimientos que transmite el océano.
Sí, and so she is saying that to bring the children into the water and give them that experience is something, and like to be able to start actual surf therapy in Cuba. And there's an international surf therapy org that we're connecting with and helping to grow that and grow the research and the background and the science behind what's actually happening in people's brains when they're engaged in surf therapy. And to be able to have the support of myself and other mentors as she grows this program for the kids, and to be able to see when the kids get in the water how automatically their sentiment, their feeling, and their joy is changed, and the kids receive the joy from the ocean as well. Yeah,
definitely. Oh, it's such beautiful work that you two are doing. Thank you.
Gracias. Thank you.
Gracias.
So one question that I have is, how did you come to the point where you kind of realized that you wanted to like merge these two worlds? Like, I guess this is mostly a question for Natalie, because you had this profession, right, that was like therapy, and maybe you were surfing on the side. At what point did these two worlds just come into one? Because I think a lot of times we do have like kind of these two lives that we live, especially, women that have 9-to-5 jobs, and then they have their favorite thing that they do before or after. So I'm curious about that intersection. I'm sure it was challenging to have them fit, but also what was that process of coming into union with what you were doing?
God, I mean, my college self would never believe that I'm teaching surfing in my 30s. I'd be like, no way, I would never do that. But I'm teaching surfing in my 30s. And so that's a little bit of like letting go of ego and cultural expectations of what I should be doing at this stage of my life. And so I was working in a private practice, doing talk therapy, and was realizing that, and most of the people that I was working with were college age or like 20s, 30s to 40-year-old women, and then also teenage girls. And most of them were struggling with depression, anxiety, eating disorders, experiences of past traumas that they were working through. And I started realizing that I was referring all of them to the ocean as part of their medicine for healing. And at the same time, I was also running surf programs for little girls, and had a lot of their moms who were dropping their girls off for their surf camp. Like, oh, I wish I had this when I was a kid. I wish that I could have done that, but I'm too old now, or like it's not something for an adult to be doing, or I'm too out of shape, or all these excuses as to why they don't belong there. And so I was like, no, you guys belong out here too. You guys need to come and join us. And so we would end our surf program with the girls teaching their moms how to surf. And also I started looking for like, okay, there's got to be programs out there that get women in the water and have that community aspect behind it as well, more so than just a normal surf lesson. And I was looking and really hoping to find something, because I had no intention of starting something myself, but I couldn't find anything. And so after how the universe works, a couple of things kept on being like, Natalie, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And so finally I surrendered to that and cried a lot and was extremely afraid, and had a lot of people being like, how could you quit you finally have a secure job doing what you should be doing with your master's in your profession. And then I quit it in order to do this full time. And mainly I was doing groundswell for 1 year and working full time as a private practice professional. And there I just saw so much transformation in the women in the small group surf therapy programs that we were running, and was referring all of my individual clients to these groups. And I was like, this is where transformation is really happening. We can talk about our problems and like, yeah, we can talk about things all day long, but being able to get into the water and experience every little, like, waves are kind of little traumas that you're having to overcome over and over and over. And so that's literally taking, like, if you're, when your brain's experienced trauma, then your pathways get all like fucked up. And then if you experience other like miniature traumas, but that are able to overcome, and you're able to heal and realize like, oh, I am capable of doing that, or oh, I am capable of being strong and trying again. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to have fear. And experiencing that within a safe space, those brain connections start to reform and create positive connections and interactions. And so then you're living your life with a healed brain that's responding from that space, rather than a traumatized brain that's responding from a space of constantly trying to protect and keep you safe. And so it liberates you. It gives you space to express yourself more in the world, because you know that you belong there, and you know that you are strong, and you know that you are beautiful, and the ocean is just such a powerful place to connect with that and see that wave after wave after wave. So it's scary, but it's amazing.
Yeah, and so worth it once you kind of take that leap through all of the waves, right? And then that time when you catch your first wave, and you're like,
Exactly, you know it.
So I mean, this is very a fresh image in my mind, because I just started surfing like 5 months ago. So it was a huge fear of mine most of my life. I grew up when I was younger surfing, just like the whitewash, like nothing crazy. And I ended up getting like injured and like cut my head open. And so I had this huge trauma that was not for me my whole life growing up, even though I lived in San Diego, like a perfect beach town. And so this summer, it was part of my healing practice that I looked at what are some of my biggest fears or things that I've said I can never do that. And surfing was one of them. So I got into the water, and yeah, it totally sucked for a while. It was really difficult. But catching just that first wave is like, it's something like, and maybe you can explain the science behind it, but it's like there's a connection made in your brain that just says, okay, you can do it. So even if you fail 100 times after that, there's still this like piece that's like this knowing of, but I can do that again. I've already done it. And then you catch like a bigger wave, or you go on it longer, and you're like, okay, I can do that. Even if it's just wave after wave, trauma after trauma, whatever, way we're looking at the analogy. But yeah, I can definitely see how hand in hand these two go together. And I think it's so cool to be able to see you two really take on the leadership to take what you've experienced in your own life and how it's been so healing for you, and really take it and bring it into service for others. A big piece of what we're trying to do with the Global Goddess Fest is really share what kind of impact are we making with our businesses. And so maybe you can speak quickly or speak a little bit on, that leaving that sort of secure job, or dedicating more time and energy and effort into something that's more of a unknown, but something that you just know deep in your soul needs to happen. And while you're seeing the impact of how these women are really being changed, how that can be a driving motivation compared to other drivers, such as, money or security, that a lot of people get raised up to believe that this is the way that we need to be getting motivated by.
Yeah. So I guess more on like the business perspective of it.
Yeah, kind of like the business and impact.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's definitely been, I think this whole process has been a really helpful growing point for me to know that I can ask for help, that it's okay to ask for help. And that's actually really empowering, that I don't have to do it by myself. And so it's been amazing as I've opened up that door in my own life to be open to not just like receiving help as people come to help me, but asking for what I need as well and being able to speak my voice into that. That's like transformed everything. And so I've actually worked with a business coach to be able to like come into that space and overcome my own traumas and hurdles around and stories around money and finance and being a businesswoman and what that looks like and how I look as a businesswoman, not how like other people look as a businesswoman, and not comparing myself in that way, and how really being able to step out into this position as my authentic self rather than what I feel like people are expecting of me. But it's also been amazing to see how when I make myself more vulnerable and really live authentically, the community that comes around is exactly what I need. And so it's been a really wild time. And I think that's a piece of like why I feel so connected with Yaya is that we're both going through that process of doing something that no one else is doing, which is scary. And then also being women doing it. And so that's balance of being a strong, like what it means to be a strong woman, but also what it means to be like beautiful and authentic and flowing, and not cold strong, but like warm heart strong. And so it's interesting to explore that and to have our sisters in Cuba and in Peru and in California, that we can all come together and support each other as we start exploring what it looks like to authentically be ourselves out there. And I think just the surf culture in general has typically been a male-focused culture and environment. So it's like a little micro environment of what's going on in the rest of the world. And it's almost like this practice field to be able to practice, like, oh, well, this is what it means to, like, yeah, I belong out here too. I deserve this wave as well. And so being able to practice that in small little pieces every time we paddle out allows us to continue that practice when we get on land. Pero para la pregunta es, ¿qué esas cosas que es más, que influencia ti más sobre cambiar tu trabajo a cosas del acuario, a cosas a tu corazón y tu pasión? Entonces, ¿qué es la cuenta de esto? ¿Qué es las cosas de esta cuenta que es importante que quieres compartir con nosotros, mujeres?
Tuve un momento malo en mi vida en el cual me alejé de todo lo que me rodeaba, hasta de mis amigos, y sufrí este mal por más de 4 meses, hasta un día que recibí un correo de Natalie diciendo que quería conocerme por historias que había escuchado de mí hacía mucho tiempo, y cuando recibí el correo de Natalie diciendo que quería conocerme y venir a surfear a Cuba, y yo de repente dije, oh, y yo dejé el surf, yo dejé todo a un lado. Si viene Natalie a surfear conmigo a conocerme, tengo que empezar a surfear.
So originally surfing was, ¿qué dices en la primera?
Que pasé un mal momento.
Yeah. She was going through a really hard time, like emotionally and community-wise, and just figuring out life and feeling very alone. And then she got a random email from this person in California, and was like, and I was telling her like, hey, I want to come out and surf in Cuba. Let me know how we can support you. What are the things that you guys need? So I had read a lot about the surf culture in Cuba and how basically you're not allowed to surf for the most part. People would get arrested or have their boards taken away from them because if you're getting in the water by Havana, you're supposedly swimming to Miami. And so to be able to have she went from feeling like she was the only woman out there surfing, and then also in a culture that surfing is not celebrated, but it's like you have to be a very strong person to get out there and defy the government and to defy, you're taking a risk. And so for her to receive an email from a woman that's surfing as well and doing therapy as well, was an automatic sentiment of like, okay, I'm not alone in this, and I don't have to do this by myself anymore. And so to have that support.
Entonces, tu email lo recibí un año, en el 2015, y bueno, nada, tuve todo ese 2015, llegabas en el 2016, 22 de enero del 2016, y como que me hiciste volver a esta vida del surf, que había olvidado todo lo bueno que me había costado el surf, volver a surfear, me devolvió la vida, me devolvió mirar diferente desde otro punto de vista la vida. Ya era algo que disfrutaba estar más en el agua que fuera, dentro del agua surfeando o simplemente acostada encima de mi tabla remando o disfrutando de las vibraciones del mar. Fueron mis momentos más felices. Con lo que digo yo, que al surf le debo mucho, porque he conocido muchas amistades, muy buenas amistades. A través del surf conocí a mi novio, y con el surf he vivido mis mejores momentos. Cuando estoy dentro del agua tomando olas, me siento súper bien, todo mi cuerpo cambia, toda mi energía es positiva, olvido todos los problemas y me hace bien.
Sí. And so when
me lo recibí en 2015.
Yeah. So she received the email in 2015, and then it was like almost a year before we were actually able to come out and come and be in Cuba and see each other. And I remember, this is me talking now, but I remember like arriving in the airport, and I had no idea if we were going to make it to Cuba, if we were going to get turned around. Like it was a moment of like, okay, we're going for it, and we'll see what happens. And then to arrive and see Yaya, I was like seeing a sister that we had been connected forever. And it was the ocean that had connected us, and we had like the Mama Cocha was our mother. And so for her to be able to have a community of women come and support her was extremely powerful, and reminded her and reconnected her to paddle out, and how surfing, it gives you those moments of complete joy where all of the stresses and struggles of life kind of, you get a break from them for a moment. And surfing has brought her to her boyfriend and future husband, and to a community, and to now a profession with like helping children heal through surf therapy. And so it's completely changed everything.
Sí. Entonces, después de haber disfrutado y ver esos cambios que ha hecho el surf en mí, quiero transmitírselo a otras personas, y quiero transmitírselo a los niños, y más a estos niños con necesidades físicas y mentales que por sí solos no se pueden valer y necesitan de otros para recibir ayuda. Y yo, después de tener esta experiencia con el mar y el surf, quiero hacérselo llegar a ellos. Y investigando me he dado cuenta que si a una persona que es normal le hace bien, a estos niños con discapacidades también le puede aportar algo, y quiero ser una de esas personas que le pueda aportar una mejor calidad de vida.
Yeah, and so the ocean and surfing transforms people's quality of life, and especially for the children who have the different disabilities and autism and like physical and mental disabilities. To be in the ocean, you can see the transformation in their bodies and giving them joy, and to find people that are strong and capable and wanting to give that gift to the kids and to other people is something very unique and special, and Yaya has that.
So amazing. Oh, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I love the sisterhood that has been created, that you two represent, and the power that we have to step in and support one another in whatever we need support with, and how that sort of bond can just really move things forward, move things along, and help you find clarity. So it's just a really, really beautiful example that you two get to live and share with us and everyone that you come in contact with, I'm sure. So
much more when we work together. And so it's been amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine. And so thank you both so much for coming on and sharing a bit about your story. And we'll definitely have a link to Groundswell so everyone that's watching can check out the work that's happening. And these two are also providing a free discount code for Simply Straws. So that way anyone that's watching can do your part in see and self-love. So thank you so much for that discount code. And anyone that is going to be purchasing the full Goddess Fest download will also be receiving a free early bird special discount price to join for their Surf and Service Peru retreat. Epic!
Yeah, you can come and have breakfast right here. Right where you're at.
So if you're like, sitting at your computer like, oh, man, I wish I was there, and like dreaming of like entering the computer to be where they're at, there is a way.
Sunny skies, beautiful ocean, amazing waves, and there's waves for like all levels. So you can come here and learn how to surf, or also teach people surf. Amazing food, really good, and beautiful people. It's a great community.
Oh, so amazing. So thank you both so much. It was wonderful, wonderful having you on and being able to hear a little bit more about the behind the scenes of how Groundswell has been created and formed. And I wish you both the best of luck moving forward. And please feel free to utilize this community to support what you both have going on.
Gracias.
Welcome.
Thank you to our viewers, everyone that watched.
Thanks, I love you.